What's up, everybody? I am back on the road. We're gonna drop some stuff off at Bayshore Christian. I just went to Walmart. I actually got me a little, some groceries and a couple other things, and got me a windshield mount. What do y'all think? It's got this weird sun coming in right here, but the angle is definitely much better. It's actually a suction mount onto the windshield, so we're gonna see how long it'll actually stay on there while I'm driving down the road. I kind of like this angle. Hope the angle is pretty good. But it's day 4 of the real estate world. Got up a little late today. I usually try and get up about 5:30 or 5:20, somewhere in there. And today didn't happen. I was up late last night. We actually had drove to Pensacola Beach last night after the open house to meet our friends Zach and Misty and their 2 children, Jude and Jax. And it was actually a lot of fun. We went to Flounders, had a good time. We haven't seen each other since 2011, actually, when I got married. But we still talk on the phone and we still text each other. It's not like an everyday thing or anything, but he used to be a college buddy when I was a sophomore. Basically, when I got to Oklahoma State, and he was a freshman and I was a sophomore, and we all hung out. Obviously, we've had some good times, bad times, but we've stayed friends throughout the whole thing, which was pretty cool. And they flew into Pensacola and then drove over to 30A, and they ended up driving back to Pensacola Beach. It was an hour and a half. It's about an hour and a half drive for us, about an hour and 20 minutes from Fairhope, and they went about an hour and a half also to where they had to go. But they went to Flounders to let the kids be able to play in the park that they got there. Ate some good food. He had some sushi. We had some fish. Had some sashimi, and we probably left there about 8:30, and didn't get home until 9:30, 10 o'clock. So we left about 8:15. Got home about 9:30, quarter to 9. Oh, hi, Carrie. Haven't seen you in a long time. What's up, Hector? So what we did is, once we got home, obviously the kids they took a little nap in the car, so they were still kind of power napped. And when we got home, they stayed up till about 10:30. We usually go to bed about 8:39. So Kelly and I were up late and way past our bedtime. I ended up getting up about 6 o'clock. Eleanor got up about 6:30. Made breakfast, made my lunch for the office, because I'm going to the office today. After, I had to go to Bayshore, and obviously I had to go to Walmart and get some stuff. But today, what I'm going to do for the real estate industry is, I had the open house yesterday, and I'm going to use the Core Home open house app that I have on Kelly's iPad, and I'm going to sync my contacts that came into the open house. There was 6 of them. A couple of them had realtors, some of them didn't, which is a good thing for me. And then I'm going to sync it up to my CRM, and I'm going to figure out how to be able to email them and call them and set them up with listings. What's up, Andre? I saw your picture the other day, or actually today. I think you took it yesterday. But setting it up through the contacts, and just basically going to learn how to schedule calls, schedule emails, and schedule different things to be able to keep in contact with them. Hi, Jamie. And I want to be able to set up all the systems that we have in place at JPAR. There's a ton of systems, and there's a ton of trainings within the systems that I still have to do. And what I learned in the gym business is, set your systems up early, so that way you don't have to go back and try and set them up again, or actually just start them in the very beginning. It's so much harder to start some systems up after you already have the business running. And I learned it. I mean, it was probably like 2 years before I even started trying to put systems into the gym. And so with this, I was talking to Marcus Walker yesterday also about it, and just take my time and learn the systems, learn what needs to be put in place, do the trainings that needs to be done, and not worry about focusing 100% on how am I going to get the next sale, or how am I going to get the next lead, and just let that come organically and through me learning how to use everything and just taking it day to day, and obviously filming it on here, talking about it and seeing how it's going to go. Because it's a lot of stuff. Like, there's just so much to real estate that I never even knew went on behind the scenes or even during the scenes. And I'm excited. Like I told my wife, and I told Marcus Walker yesterday, that I know that I'm in the right field. I'm in the right industry. Hi, Brooke. Long time. I was just talking. Actually, I just told everybody that I went and saw Zach Caro yesterday over at dinner. He's over in 30A over in Florida. I'm pretty sure you remember him. But, so I'm taking my time and soaking it all in and learning how this real estate industry works. And like I said, I'm super, super excited about it. And I'm ready to take it to the next level. And I definitely am in the right business. And the more I got into that open house yesterday, the more I talked to people, the more fulfilled I became, and just the more excited I became to be able just to talk to them and find out more about them and what their needs were. Totally different than talking about the gym industry, where you got to kind of break people down to let them know that they need fitness and they need to lose weight. And it's kind of like sad times of talking, where when you're talking in real estate, most of the time, for right now, on the buy side, is you're trying to help somebody out. And even on the sell side, you're helping people out, but also there'll be times where they're going to need to sell because they're in distress, or they overbought a year or two ago and they're just like bleeding money and they just need to sell quick. But I haven't got to experience that yet, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. Like I said, if you take it on a different perspective and change your mindset on how you handle situations and think about how you're actually helping the person over the fact that it's a negative situation that you're dealing with, I think that really helps you in the long run. It really helped me in the gym industry for sure. Knowing that I was going to help the person, not because they were overweight or they were just super out of shape and things like that. It was just basically because that's what they needed, and that's where they needed to be in life. And same with the real estate. It's going to be the same way. Another good thing that I thought about this morning, that a lot of people don't know that I do, is I listen to a lot of motivational speeches, a lot of motivational talks. And I started listening to Les Brown yesterday, and I sent the whole podcast. And it wasn't a podcast, but it was on iTunes. It was a whole lot of Les Brown tapes from back in the day, probably in the 90s. And the guy is so powerful and so amazing. And I was watching so much, not like watching, but I started getting caught up in kind of like some of the conspiracy theories and things like that. And I'm going to take a break from those because of the fact that they take away from your time and your energy. And then just watching the news, it was just putting me in a bad mood trying to figure out this whole COVID situation and, the unemployment and all that stuff. And I was like, you know what? That has nothing to do with what's going on in my life right now. People are still buying houses. People still need my help. People still need to hear me talk and hear me speak. And I need to help people. And I need to figure out what they want and how much I can help them and what I can do for them to make their life better. Not sit there and watch the news and make my life terrible. Because if you sit there and watch it and start getting caught up on all that, you're going to go down some wrong path. And I was working out yesterday, I found this Les Brown tape, and it was amazing. Like, it was so powerful. Like, I was so excited listening to it, like, pumped me up. And just reminded me of the fact that don't go down that dark hole. Don't get trapped into that environment of that negativity of everybody around you and the news. The news feeds off of negativity, and you just can't live your life that way. It's so hard. And, Misty, she overcame breast cancer at a young age, under 40. And her outlook on life is just amazing. Like, she knows that she has to live her life. She can't just sit there and be cooped up and be scared to live her life just because she had cancer and what this COVID stuff is doing. So it's just amazing what happens if you change your mindset. Like, your mindset is 100% where everything is. And I started going down like a little slight hole. What's up, Sal? And yeah, it is, Brooke. It's definitely a seller's market. Edmund in our house. Nice. That's awesome. And so stay on that mindset of like positivity. Like, don't let it go down the drain. And I almost let it do that. But now I'm back on the right path. And I am back onto motivation, filling my brain with as much motivation as I can get and as much positivity that I can bring, and just everything about it makes your life more fulfilled and more exciting than to try and watch the news and just fill your brain full of that negativity. But I'm at Bayshore now. I am going to drop some stuff off. I appreciate everybody being on here. I'll be on tomorrow, and I might be on later on today. And I will probably take a picture of something else later today. But other than that, I appreciate everybody. Thank you for watching, and I'll see y'all later.